Hi, for my fourth presentation, I will be talking about Thomas Nagel's article on sexual perversion. Sexual perversion can justly be defined as an aberrant sexual practice. In his article, Nagel sets up a form of a general definition of what he believes are the three major concepts/factors that constitutes for sexual perversion. 1. Being sexual perversion are sexual desires or practices that are unnatural. 2. We can distinguish some are perversions and some are not perversions, such as obsessions of objects will be seen as perverse, but austere intercourse is not. And 3. The perversions is unnatural sexual inclinations in comparison to unnatural practices adopted from other reasons. Overall, Nagel talks about how sexual perversion is the one aspect around sex. Some opposing arguments made by Nagel about sexual perversion is: Example 1. Nagel talks about that sexual perversion falls under psychological needs, such that sexual desire is an appetite. Sex is an appetite like any other thing. So once a person becomes sexually active, the curiosity of whether or not it's moral or natural doesn't relate. I can simply break it down such that appetites are normal, sex is an appetite, and so all sex is normal. Example 2. Nagel uses two people, Romeo and Juliet, being aroused by simply noticing each other to demonstrate his idea on the development of a normal adult sexual relationship. This development starts off with the idea of perception, which is seeing the other person's involuntary actions. The first person can see the second person, but the second person can't see the first person, like a one-way mirror. Sexual desire becomes a huge role between the play of the two people. Sexual desire reinserts sovereignty. For example, your face begins to flush and your heart rate increases. Your body is responding, like the act of sexual arousal. The first person starts to realize who they are through the second person, which is the expansion of the subject of you, finding oneself. Thus, Nagel is trying to imply that a normal sexual relationship must involve mutual perceptions. Example 3. Nagel also talks about the idea of immersion of the body. When you sexually desire someone, you come back to your body, which can be classified as a physical experience. Humans reflect and recognize others, then become sexually attracted to the other. If both two people are attracted to one another, it heightens your expectations at a subconscious level, which is the idea that someone wants you. Love becomes the recognition of lust for one another, thus leading me to provide some examples on how we emerge ourselves from our bodies. For example, when a woman is pregnant, they cease to be a person even though their consciousness is fully embodied. Also, death brings us back to ourselves. To understand why we emerge from our bodies is the ideas of us finding someone who will help you understand who you are as a person and what you love. In conclusion, Nagel makes a good argument about sexual perversion and a good distinction between what is natural and unnatural. However, he does not address rape, which I believe is sexual perversion. Also, he doesn't include masturbation, which should not be implied as a sexual perversion. Masturbation is a sexual fantasy because there's only one object. The other non-existing object isn't alive, resulting in second awareness. You're thinking about yourself, but not as one's real partner. Thus, there would be no mutual perception, which would result in a defective relationship. Thus, leading Nagel to strongly believe that reflective mutual recognition to be the essential standard of sexual activity. Thanks for listening.